The video is Lila Nishmas, Shmuel Bach and Chaim Tzidoiv, and this week's videos, Mitzvah Hashem, are going to be Lila Nishmas, Ráubén ben Shmuel Yom Tov Shaino, Zichrono Livrocha. There is so much to learn from this man that I knew a little bit, but of course only at the end of his life. And many times when you see someone, so you get a picture of, you don't get the real picture. You think you know the real picture. One of the real pictures I got, of course, in the Levaya, and the different Espedim that was said about Ráubén, the incredible lesson that I mentioned yesterday about Makim Mekoimoy. And I'll tell you another thing that someone said at the speech, which is based on Pirkei Avos, really a great question. If you look in Pirkei Avos, and it's good to learn Pirkei Avos all the time, men, women, to know these things, Pirkei Avos by heart. It's something, it's just straight hashkafa, and it's something that be'etzem so easy, and that's why we don't sometimes learn it. So in Pirkei Avos we have in one parak, the first parak, Shammai teaches us that a person should be mekabel kol adam b'sevel panim yafois. Okay, sevel panim yafois sounds like a beautiful face. In the third parak, we have someone else saying things will be Shmuel. He says no. He says seems to be the same thing. If a mekabel kol adam b'simcha, simcha. Well, that sounds exactly what Shammai taught. What's the difference? So there's different explanations, but the Rambam in Parashah Mishnah says a fascinating explanation, and I think it's something so amazing to listen to and to learn from this tzaddik, this chashuv Talmud Chacham. Someone really, Ráubén Shiner was. This is what actually Nassan Sherman mentioned, was one of the first 50 people in the United States in Kollel. This is going back a long time ago, where it wasn't the in thing to be in Kollel, to be a Rebbe. In fact, he was supposed to go to college. Of course, he was in public school. But he decided that he's going to dedicate his life to teaching Torah. So the Rambam says, and this is something that he epitomized, and this is what personified Ráubén, is that there's one level called B'sevel panim yafos. That means we look with a certain face, we smile. And that's already a madrega. To smile, to walk around with a smile, it has an effect. But then there's something called simcha. Simcha is based on the pasuk Shir Shirim, Simchas liboy, uviyoim simchas liboy. That already is describing a state of the heart. But really, it's one, and the Rambam explains, you want really to have b'sevel panim yafos, it has to come from inside. The effect, the power, is when inside. Now, you could say, well, that's not something that I can be in control of, but it's not true. Leiv toiv, a good heart, a happy heart, simchas alev is something that we're obligated to do. Yes, it takes work, and we've given a definition for joy and simcha many times. Simcha is the emotional pleasure you experience when you focus on what you have. That means it's possible, but you have to focus on what you have. And if you want to know, it's worth going to pay a shiva call, to be menachem, because many times you go to be menachem avel, you end up being misnachem. You end up walking out. So the first thing you'll see, if you go be menachem of Ráubén's family, you will see how Ráubén lived. You will be shocked. Small house, filled with svarim, dedicated to one thing, to Torah. Really lived in an amazing generation. Wasn't of course, different from this generation. But if you want to know where Simchas Liboy came, is because he was mistapik in what he had. It was an amazing midah, and it's something we need to work on, especially. It gets harder and harder, and probably the hardest in this generation where there's such affluence. But he was able to do it, and that's an amazing lesson to take from Ráubén ben Shmuel Yom Tov. Hatzach.